In today's video, I'm going to be showing you my bearded iris, and they are fully in bloom. There's an abundance of blooms right here. And I'll also tell you the main thing that I do to make sure that this comes back year after year. I will also show you some of my flowers that are in bloom in the very merry month that is May, just to give you some ideas for your own spring garden. And if this is your first time here, my name is Marlene. Welcome to my home and garden channel. So if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that bearded iris are one of my absolute favorite springtime bloomers. They are absolutely gorgeous. I'm sure you can understand why. They're large, they have showy flowers. They grow in zones 3 to 9 because they do need to get a little freeze, at some point in the winter in order for them to be at their best in your growing zone. I basically have two colors. They're called bearded iris, by the way, because of the little hairs that you can see on the petals right there. Very, very cute. And I have lavender, and I have the two-tone purple and white. Sometimes I may get a white one here and there, but I just love them, and they're just wonderful flowers to have in your landscape. In order to keep them looking large and beautiful like this, though, there is one main thing that I do every few years, and that is to divide them. Now, if you look right here at the soil, you'll see what looks almost like a ginger root right there. Those are called rhizomes. And we call them roots, but they really are stems that, are partially underground. But they're the parts that provide food for them, and they absorb nutrients from the soil. And of course, the leaves produce, by photosynthesis, and it goes down in there. But when it gets tight and crowded in the spots, that is not good for them. Sometimes they could even get root rot because, they're packed in together. And like I said, they compete for nutrients and all of that. So we have to divide them. Now, the true roots are the ones that you're seeing, that cascade down right there. This is one that we took up last September. And then the rhizome would be the one that's on top. So they have to be divided, and then, they'll come back up. So right here, these ones were actually divided just last year. And you can see I have a couple of blooms, but they're coming up, and I'm so happy to see them. And by the way, this is something that needs to be done, in September or, maybe October, early October, even August. You could do them in August because they need to have that time when they get to calm down, adjust before it freezes over on those new roots. Now, I will say that it does take patience. Iris is a plant that, when you just put them in, because these are about to come up and they're absolutely gorgeous. They were when they came out. They're not like tulips right here, where you plant tulips in the fall and, the very next spring, you have a large amount of blooms. They're very pretty. They're gorgeous. And then in about 3 or 4 years, you get none or very few. Daffodils, on the other hand, they'll come up quickly afterwards too, but they have their own issues as well. And they're smaller. But the iris, they are large, and they need that energy over time to get them to look like this. So I would say patience is definitely a major key in terms of, gardening in general and with your iris. But believe me, when you, put the time in, you'll be so fully rewarded. I've had a couple of people ask me, that they planted them recently and nothing came up. And I have videos. I'll actually link my playlist for iris that answers all of your questions on those, or I think all of them. I've gotten very good feedback on it. It's helped quite a few people. And so you'll see that, there are other things that you do as well too, but you really need to divide them over the years. These ones are like a year, 2 years actually, these ones that I put here. And they're not in that much sun, but they're still looking really good. And just look over here, guys. Aren't these gorgeous? I just absolutely love to look at them, hear the birds singing. It just sounds so wonderful outside. And I just wanted to say at this moment that, I'm so pleased every time you hit the subscribe button and tap the notification bell. It lets you know when my videos are coming out. I not just only do flowers, but I do fruits and veggies as well. Now, one thing to bear in mind, when they're blooming, quite often you will see like aphids on them like you're seeing here. They don't really harm them per se. They're just a bit of a nuisance and kind of an eyesore at the same time. So what you can do is you can go in and spray them with some insecticidal soap. And then I typically do that like before it rains, whether you're going to be using one or two made yourself, following directions to do it. Or if you wanted to get ones that are pre-made for you, like these right here. And I'll put a link in the description box for you, at least for one or maybe more that you can choose to treat your plants that way. Now, in my previous video, I had my little rabbits, they came out to visit, to take a look, to see when I was decorating my spring porch. That was so cute to me. And you can always check this video out. I'll link it at the end for you as well. It's been doing so well. But I've had a couple of people ask me about the rabbits. They're like, don't they go over and eat your plants? Veggies, it can be a little bit tricky where our backyard is fenced in, but the front yard, what I actually do is I plant flowers that they don't like. So I'm going to show you some of the flowers that we have in bloom or about to bloom right here in this very, very month that is called May. So over here now we have our lilies. They don't like those. We have some cone flowers coming up right there. They have rough leaves, so they don't like those. They don't like marigold or these other leaves. These are Calabraca that have kind of like fuzzy leaves. The vinca just doesn't taste good at all, so they don't like it either. Over here we have some salvia, and I love salvia. And the leaves on it are very rough, and it has a very strong smell, so they don't like that either. Over here I have some more Easter lilies and some Asiatic lilies a little bit behind them. And those are pretty safe from them. And of course I have roses behind there, and I'm guessing it's because of the thorns possibly why they don't like them, but they really don't fool around it too much. And so it works out really well for me. And over on the porch you'll see that I had shown you that in the video as well, but just to give you a close-up, I did mention that my chrysanthemums were about to bloom, and I just wanted to give you a follow-up on them, that they definitely are blooming. Even though it is in May, they bloom twice for me. And I'm very, very happy about it. It's like double, sometimes even 3 times it'll bloom. So here's some more lilies right here. Again, they're well protected. The dianthus have already faded. Over here we have some phlox. They don't like the phlox either. And back here we have some beautiful Dutch iris. They don't bother those either. And I just absolutely love them. And I will be doing a future video on Dutch iris. They're kind of like cousins to, the bearded iris that we're looking at right now. So they're just so, so beautiful. And I absolutely love them. And as you can see, they multiply over time. So they are a wonderful spring blooming plant to have. And just to show you a close-in on the boxwood right here, the little hedge plants that they're actually blooming. I'm not sure if you can make out the bumblebee inside there, but we didn't trim them off. We like to have them bloom a little first, and then we just trim them back and neaten everything up, afterwards. So just so you can see that, that does happen for your boxwood if you allow it a little bit. And then towards the back, the more shaded area of our yard, we have some lady fern right here, and these are volunteer plants, and I just love when I get volunteer plants because we don't have to pay for them, and they normally put themselves in the best spot. These right here, these are some dianthus, similar to the ones at the front. Because they're more shaded, you can see that they're still looking very much alive. And bear in mind that you can grow dianthus in pots, like I did here. I had this one in here for quite a few years on my front porch. But then after a while, just like the iris, they need to be divided because they start to compete for the food, and it just gets really, compacted in there. So I took them out and I put them in another area, and they are doing perfectly fine. So just to say that, dividing plants is not just necessarily for your plants like iris. It applies to so many other ones, so many other perennials. So let's take a look and see what else we have going on here. These are some pansies, and these are the sweetest smelling flowers I think that I have. And I've had some really nice smelling ones. They are so, so gorgeous. And then over here we have, they can't take the heat, by the way, so that's why I had to just move them and rest them in that pot for the time being. And I also divided took up my chrysanthemums and put them in another container. So they're going to fill out and be really nice for me in the fall. But let's get back to the star of today's show, which is our iris. One thing I will say about bearded iris is that, like any other bulb, you really have to allow the leaves to yellow a little bit at least, and then you can cut them back. So if you don't want to have that in your garden, that's just something to bear in mind. Or you can plant some other things that come up in the summer that'll be larger and will kind of, hide them a little bit, or kind of like downplay the yellowness a little bit. So just something to bear in mind. These right here are some beautiful gladiolas, which will bloom right into the middle of summer. You can also add things like black-eyed Susans and, hydrangeas, all the other things that will come up very nicely beside them. So you have lots of options. If you have any questions or comments about anything else, that I do, or how to treat them, or if you have some and you like them, if they're working out for you, be sure to leave me a comment. I'd certainly love to know. And be sure to hit the subscribe button and tap the notification bell twice so you never miss an upload. And you can follow along with all the things that we do with our front yard as well as our backyard. And if you're watching this in the very, very month of May, then you can go ahead and, get something on here for your mom, or, for yourself. If you got cash, you can always check those links out, that video out, I should say, that's on Amazon, to see what you might want for yourself. So I want to thank you so much for watching. Enjoy your iris flowers. Hope you have a wonderful spring, and I do hope to see you in the next video. Take care.